You've been looking for a job. You have definitely noticed that motivation is really difficult to come by and maintain. I've been talking a little bit about this motivation for the past few weeks here, but I'd like to say a little bit more today about rewards. Rewards are a really important part of this process because let's face it, looking for a job stinks. There's nothing fun about it, there's nothing rewarding about it. It's demoralizing, it's frustrating. It will make you have all kinds of self-doubts, whether or not you have had those in the past. So, one of the tricks to pushing through, really powering through all of this process is figuring out what is a reward for you so that you can keep yourself feeling engaged in the process. A regular job, no matter how crummy it is, inherently comes with some rewards. Perhaps not very many, perhaps smaller than you actually need. But if nothing else, your job pays you for the work you've done. Again, perhaps not well. May not be sufficient to the effort you're putting in. You might have other struggles in your job. You might not like your coworkers. You might not like your schedule, but those are still kind of rewards that are there to begin with because your coworkers are just people you can go and interact with or not. And your schedule is something that somebody else has set for you. You haven't had to make all of the decisions about when this is going to happen and what kinds of tasks to do. And these kind of function in our brains the same way rewards do. So when you're looking for a job, you need to figure out what those rewards are to keep you moving forward. Now, a quick side note about all of this. One of the things that I see really frequently when people are looking for a job is that at the beginning of the search process, they just go all in, apply for every single thing they possibly can, hit all the job boards, spend hours and hours and hours each day, really kind of looking for jobs and applying for things. The problem with this approach is that it will lead you to burn out really, really quickly in this process. So I like to think about it as a little bit of a slower process. I know that that comes with its own anxieties because there are concerns about your finances, but slow down a little bit so that what you're looking for, what you're applying for, what you're spending your time on is a series of jobs that you would actually take. Not the things that make you want to gouge out your eyeballs, the things that maybe don't look fabulous, but look like they would be bearable, at least for the short term. So you'll want to be a little bit picky and you'll want to tailor your applications. Now, tailoring your applications, getting through all of that, going through interviews, that is all the part of this process that gets really unpleasant and really demotivating. So you're going to have to plan a series of these rewards. Now, the trick to it is you're going to want to have both immediate rewards and longer term things. So, immediate rewards are little things that you put in place for yourself every time you accomplish an unpleasant task or a burdensome task. It doesn't have to be actually unpleasant, but things like updating your resume. Or reaching out to some LinkedIn contacts, things like that that feel like they kind of weigh on you. Figure out some small rewards that you can give yourself immediately when you complete each of those tasks. Small here just because we don't want to impact your budget too much. We don't want to have you, eat a pan of brownies every time you do this. We just want you to have a little thing that functions as a treat each time you get through one of these tasks that you have promised yourself you will do. What I like to do with this is I'll put a little something, a little chocolate or something in my eye line, but just far enough away that I can't reach it conveniently. And then I'll get through whatever the task is that I've promised myself I would do that day. And I can kind of see it, right? It's there, it's in the back of my brain. And I know that I get it as soon as I complete the task. So, this is really good for shorter term motivation to keep you really applying for jobs moving forward in this process. And I think it's really nice also to have a larger reward at the end of this. And that can be something that you do sort of delay a little bit. So, for example, you can come up with a prize that you will give yourself when you get a new job after you get your first paycheck. Don't make this huge. We're not necessarily talking about you buying a new car every time you land a new job, but something that's bigger than your little immediate reward. A thing that you would save up for, a thing that you've always kind of wanted and just never paid for, that sort of thing. So again, it doesn't have to be huge. It could be a nice candle. It could be a new tool. So it doesn't have to be something major, but it should feel like a small splurge as a bit of a celebration of your success. Some people, I will note, do respond a little bit better to the threat of punishment. If you're one of those, just figure out what this small punishment should be. And that could be things like, you know, you don't get dessert, or, you have to spend longer weeding in the garden, whatever it is. So if you do respond better to punishment, figure that out as well. But the psychology experts really tell us that the reward thing, kind of giving yourself those immediate rewards and having the longer term goal is more effective for the vast majority of it. So, what are your rewards? The other thing I'll note about motivation in general when you're looking for a job is you're also going to need to take breaks. Again, the process stinks. It's not fun. And so you will find that you burn out. Sometimes give yourself a little bit of a break when that happens. And that hopefully is enough to keep you moving forward. All right. I hope that's helpful. You have a good week. I will talk to you soon.